Hey everyone, welcome to episode 11 of Universe 7, a Dragon Ball podcast. I'm Nick.
And I'm Mason.
And today we're going to be recapping and reviewing episodes 11 and 82 of Dragon Ball Super. How's your week been?
It's been pretty good, man. It's been a little slow, a little dull, just a lot of work. Nothing too crazy. I've been playing Final Fantasy X, actually, because my girlfriend has a modded PS2, so we just get all these burn games. And
did you get the chip on it?
Yeah, the chip's in it. It's actually inside it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's super cool. So I've got like Jack 3, I've got Final Fantasy X, I've got pretty much everything. Oh, I have Gauntlet Dark Legacy.
Oh, God, yeah, I remember that.
Me and James used to play that, and our friend James from way back. Hey, James. Shout out to James. We used to play that like up until I was like 18 years old, and PlayStation 2 came out forever ago, and that game came out probably in 2001. But it's just like a big nostalgia kick, I guess, and it's nice to kind of do something from the past. I'm getting real sick of just playing 2K17 over and over again. So how about you? Anything new going on?
Nothing really. I've been playing a lot of Rocket League.
Yeah, that's nothing new.
I'm playing in a league now.
Like an actual league?
A Rocket League.
Are you doing good, or you?
We haven't started yet. We just formed a team, and it's me, Kevin, and Herm.
How does that work?
So there's a $5 buy-in.
Yikes! Okay.
And we're gonna be playing. I think we play every team twice throughout the next couple months.
So is it like doing a connected franchise for Madden?
Pretty much.
That's super funny.
Except there's like a spreadsheet and all that kind of stuff, and whoever ends up winning the playoffs gets, I'm assuming, a share of the money. I actually haven't really read up on the rules.
Don't lose, man.
Yeah,
that's all I can say.
Probably will, but
the universe will be destroyed.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
But Rocket League. I've been playing a lot of that, and March Madness. Not playing March Madness. I'm not.
He's a college basketball player. He played for. Who do you play for?
I play for the University of Southern Rockford.
I don't think they made the tournament. Maybe next year.
The USR gunshot victims.
Gross. Yeah, actually, I forgot to mention March Madness. My bracket is doing okay. I picked Villanova to lose. They lost. Also picked Xavier to beat Florida State. So I'm doing pretty good so far. I've got 85% left.
I had the Middle Tennessee upset. That was about it.
Yeah. Besides that, I don't know a damn thing about college basketball, so it's just extremely good guessing on my part.
Yeah, if any of you fill out brackets, let us know how you guys are doing, because it's probably better than at least me. Probably not Mason, but it's better than me.
Yeah, his is not looking pretty.
Not pretty at all.
Whatever, man. You can figure it out next year.
Yeah, better luck next year, just like I tell myself every year.
Yeah, that's how I just tell myself on my birthday every year, better luck next year, It's my life isn't very good. But no, besides that, I don't really have too much going on. How about you? Nothing else?
Nothing really. I'm trying to think, even if I have anything really going on this week, other than
just sports a lot of the time, watching, the NFL free agency opens, so pretty much we're crazy into football, so the second that opens up, it's football season all over
pretty
again.
Much.
So besides that, yeah, I don't see too much happening for me besides just seeing where Tony Romo ends up.
Yeah.
But
Houston.
Yeah, it's looking like it, honestly, so I don't know, we'll see.
But we'll save that for the Universe 12 football podcast coming to you.
I'd love to do a sports cat podcast. That'd be so fun.
We can talk about it. We'll talk about it.
All right. If any of you guys like sports, keep an eye out for that in a year.
Yeah. But not much in the news this week. I actually was prepared to say that there was no news until you had brought one up to me.
Yeah, the hashtag Cell Games is back against...
presented by Heat Tap.
Yeah, sorry, by Heat Tap. And it is against Ash Ketchum this time. It was extremely funny. We're not going to recap it, but obviously go check it out. As always, we'll put a link in the description and all that kind of stuff.
It was longer than I thought it would be.
It was extremely long. I don't know how they're doing so well with it, it doesn't make sense how they're just meshing it up, and it doesn't look... It looks organic. It looks organic. It looks like it's actually happening. So
the cool thing is, too, is that Team 4-Star is bringing in a guest editor every single time they do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll leave, like you, Mason said, we'll leave a description in the show notes, and let us know what you think of it, because so far they just keep getting better and better and better.
I want it here, but I won't talk about that again.
I'll take these promos rather than getting nothing.
Yeah, that's fair. Anything else you want to talk? Any news besides that?
Nothing really. Probably going to be another couple months. Well, maybe another month or two before any Xenoverse DLC.
Yeah. Like no news about that at all, about what it might be, even?
I think I know who it's going to be, but I'll save that until
the Japanese part.
Yeah, because Beerus and Champa and Vados are kind of light spoilery.
Yeah, but that'll be coming up super soon, actually.
These next ones, I think, are pretty spoilery, so I don't want to really get into that.
Fair enough. All right, well, we'll save that for later. If you guys want to listen through the spoiler section, go for it, and we'll talk about it then.
So I'm just going to take a quick second here and do an ad read for our sponsor.
Yeah, go for it.
This week's sponsor is Taylor Street Pizza in Hanover Park. They do not know we exist. They do not give us free pizza. We pay full price for the pizza. And it's just really good.
It's good. There used to be some in Rockford, but they shut down.
I had Taylor Street on Wednesday.
Congrats, man. Did they have your picture up?
No. Oh, no.
So here's a story. My brother was this place. Taylor Street Pizza sells excellent pizza by the slice. He used to work right across the street from it before it shut down, and he was legit their number one customer. He was there every single day, and they ended up putting his picture on the wall.
Okay. Full disclosure: the reason that they put my picture on the wall was because I won a random drawing for a free pizza, and when I went to go pick up said pizza, they took a picture of me holding the pizza, and then they put it on the wall.
I think that's just what they told you to get your picture, because
they're just like,
you went there every single day.
Realistically, I went there probably 2 or 3 times a week,
yeah.
Which is still more than anybody should go to a pizza place. But if you guys ever are in the Chicago suburbs area, find one, and you will understand why I was there.
And maybe they'll put your picture on their wall.
Yeah.
You can only hope to be that famous one day.
Yeah, if you guys ever try this place, just hold up like a sheet of paper when they take your picture that says Universe 7 Dragon Ball Podcast, or like at Universe 7 Pod, and that's free advertising for us from our not sponsor.
Yeah, send us a picture of that. I'll Photoshop it to say roast me, and I'll put it on r/roast me.
That's a horrible idea.
Sorry, I won't do that.
Surefire way to lose listeners there.
Yeah. So besides that,
that's our sponsor. Today's episode. Today's dub recap is presented by Taylor Street Pizza
and Heat Tap.
Let's keep going, Lord Beerus. The Battle of Gods.
Okay, yeah, so like the not gravelly, old man voiced narrator says, the episode title is Let's Keep Going, Lord Beerus, The Battle of Gods. Kind of picks up in
exactly where we're at.
It does and it doesn't. It's weird. It picks up with Bulma's ship. With everybody on it just kind of sputtering through the air.
Weren't they in the water before, by the way?
Yeah.
Okay,
so I'm assuming it's safe to assume that the damage came from the water. The ship being blasted into the water.
I mean, engines usually don't run well with water.
With water.
But I guess that's a contradiction, because in the family episode they went underwater.
Did they?
Yeah, they got the octopus on his face.
Yeah, I guess this one's a very poorly made ship. So.
Oh well.
Because it's not the same one.
Is it not? I don't know. I don't pay that close attention to detail. Yeah. I just know they're yellow and they fly.
That one was like, the one in episode 2 was kind of boxy. This one was a complete sphere, so.
Yeah, I only pay attention to transformations, so.
We're the best Dragon Ball fans ever.
Yeah, we're real, actually terrible fans. But besides that.
But you know what? We started a podcast because we're fans.
Yeah. And that's it. That's no expertise. We just like to hear ourselves talk. And that's it.
Yep. So yeah, it looks like the ship did get damaged, the engines at least from the water, and they're trying to keep up with Goku and Beerus, and
but there's not a chance. There's no way they're going to keep up.
You couldn't keep up with them normally, and
yeah, there's just not a chance of keeping up. But that's really it for that. We just kind of see them arguing back and forth about
Right. Bulma tells Gohan and Goten, if you really want to see it that badly, why don't you go fly over there?
And he's like, "Yeah, we're drained, man. We can't do anything. We're out of energy."
Yeah, which we didn't know.
No, that's kind of assumed though, just because they gave all their energy to Goku.
Yeah, but when they were talking about the ritual, they made it really clear to focus on pouring your spirits.
Yeah, but before that, they dumped all their energy into him. Remember?
True.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
So
yeah, they're tapped out. Piccolo, well, even though he can fly, he's just chilling in the spaceship.
He's being a good friend. He likes seeing Gohan.
If you guys can't fly, I'm not gonna fly either.
Yeah, he's gonna be a real good guy, you know.
Yeah, and Piccolo kind of seems to be our narrator for this week's episode,
which is kind of nice.
So
good to hear a little more Piccolo.
His little internal monologue is basically saying like, even if we could fly, well, they could fly. This isn't a fight that we can't even get involved in this kind of fight. It's
no way.
Way past
anything
we could ever do. Yeah. Why not just sit in the ship and watch? So from there we jump to Beerus and Goku. They're finally getting ready to fight, and Goku charges Beerus and kind of does this neat after image kind of thing.
Which I'm surprised worked, actually.
Yeah, he flies straight at him and then teleports behind Beerus, and Beerus is reading it from the start, and he's ready to block Goku from behind. And then, out of nowhere, Goku punches him in the gut. Yeah,
it was actually... I mean, Goku's a genius fighter, so like we kind of expect that kind of stuff from him, but I think it shocked Beerus quite a bit.
Well, we're so used to seeing Goku charge him, teleport, and just hit him from the back. So to see him do that and then use that teleport as a decoy.
But that's what I'm saying. He's like an innovative fighter, so he knows that's not going to work. So he does something else and completely catches Beerus off guard.
And he catch him off guard. He does, because he just starts pummeling him.
Mm-hmm. And these are the really kind of like, not the first hits, but like first like good series of hits Goku gets.
Yeah, and it looks like Beerus has taken some pretty, not serious damage, but he looks like he's taken a bit of a beating.
Right. And that's it. That's all it is, really. Just Goku kind of going at it for a little bit, and then...
Well, it's funny because they literally trade blows. Goku is just pummeling Beerus, knocks him off, and Goku notices, like, yeah, that didn't do a thing to you, did it? And Beerus is like, nope, and starts pummeling Goku right back.
He's super strong, guys. Like, and you find out more and more throughout this entire episode.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot more where that came from.
Yeah, and for the next 5 minutes or so, we just get kind of flashes of them all fighting. Like I said before, Goku and Beerus start trading blows, and then eventually they're just full-fledged fighting each other.
Right, which is nice to actually see like some real combat instead of just like this toying around that's been happening for the past episode and a half, you know?
Yeah, there's a real cool scene where they have their hands interlocked, and there's just like lightning around them that really shows that it's not the warm-up fight from last week. Let's just put it
they're
that
actually
way.
Starting to get into the meaty part of the section, you know,
right.
The meaty part of the steak, if you will.
Yeah, and after a bit there, Beerus decides to charge up another sphere of destruction, but this one is quite a bit bigger than the last one.
Oh yeah,
and he wants to test Goku again, so he throws it right at him. And tells Goku, like, you're not going to be able to let this one...
He says it's too heavy, by the way, which is, it's not powerful, which kind of, like, threw me off. Because I didn't know they had such density.
That's what I was going to say. I kind of took it as, like, a really dense energy blast, which I assume could make it more powerful explosion-wise. But he basically tells Goku, you're not going to be able to just throw this one off into the distance. It'll do some serious damage.
Right.
And we get a really cool scene of Goku...
squeezing it.
He crushes it.
He like crushes it down into this little ball, which is it's giant when he first gets it, so it's a really long drawn out scene. But Goku's really, really struggling with it because it's obviously incredibly powerful. If it hit the earth, it'd probably blow it up. So you just see him struggling with it, and Beerus is pretty impressed.
He's getting excited.
Yeah, like a little too excited. He made a weird noise. It sounded like he hit the finish line, if you know what I mean. But yeah, Goku just condenses this thing down to its smallest form, and then finally it explodes and doesn't actually harm anybody. So
yeah, so that happens, and Okai and Kibito Kai from afar are watching the fight, and Okai notes that Beerus isn't even using close to his full power.
Right.
And Kibito Kai, who is just seems to be clueless about everything, is like, well, why would he do this? And he's like, oh, probably just for fun.
Right.
And from there we jump back to the Earth, and Beerus basically does the same thing. He tells Goku,
like, this isn't it.
Yeah, this isn't it. And Goku is trying to understand Beerus.
And that ticks him off. He does not appreciate that.
So he kind of tells him, like, "Oh, I see. You're taking it slow, so that way I don't even really know how to describe it."
He was like, "You're taking it slow because you haven't had a good fight in a long time, so you're just kind of savoring it."
Yeah, you haven't had a good fight in a long time because you're so powerful.
And then he cuts him off, and he's like, "Don't try to understand me." Like, pretty much, mortal, don't try to understand the thinking of a god.
It's like, this doesn't mean we're friends.
No. And then Goku starts taking it pretty good. Beerus charges him and puts his palm on his back, and it turns into, it's like a golden aura type thing, but I don't know how to explain it really. Like, you watch it, and it's like this full-blown energy that just goes all the way through Goku's body.
It's hurting him because you get some high-quality Sean Schemmel screams there.
Yeah, and it goes on for a long time. So if you like Sean Schemmel screams, you're getting them this episode.
Yeah, if you don't like them, you're probably not going to like this episode very much.
Yeah, so just skip it if you want, but you're missing out. I'll tell you that.
So yeah, Beerus just starts, like you said, just pummeling him with these blasts. He charges one up.
We've never really seen anything like that before, so it's cool.
It's really neat, yeah.
And I don't know, it went on for a long while, and it, like you said, he's in a great deal of pain. So,
Well, like you said, he blasts him like 3 or 4 times. He'll shoot him from the back and then catch him from the stomach and repeat. He's basically playing ping pong with himself, and then eventually he grabs Goku right in the face.
Yeah.
And charges one up right on his face and slams him down into this island.
Oh yeah, he's like flying down so fast that it resembles like a rocket ship coming in, or a comet coming into the atmosphere. It's got like that fiery edge around it, and it's super cool looking. And on the way down, he's like, "You're really gonna let me slam you into the ground without even so much of a fight? How disappointing!"
And he slams him into the ground.
And then we cut back to the Bulma's ship, actually, and Gohan's like,
they're all worried.
Yeah, Dad, he's not gonna make it, and just shit that we know that doesn't actually matter.
Pretty much. And then we cut back to the island, which is now just a giant crater. And Beerus is walking through the dust, looking for Goku, and he finally finds him. And it's like, "Oh, would you look at that? It appears that you were able to dodge right at the last second before the explosion, because if you hadn't, you'd be a pile of ashes right now." And Goku is looking pretty worse for the wear.
He's done. Like, pretty much just seems done. He's laying there. He's defeated. He's in awe of how much power this guy still has left over. And Beerus is super disappointed still, and now getting on the verge of angry because he was waiting for so long for somebody to rival his strength, somebody to actually test his strength against, and this clearly isn't the guy.
And he kicks Goku on his back. Mounts him would probably be the correct word.
Mounts him real nice.
And then he just starts going off on him. He starts, like you said, he's wailing on him with punches, and Goku's trying to block him, and he's just saying, "You were supposed to be my rival, and all you're doing is making me sleepy. Like, you were this boring. Everything is so boring." And this pisses Goku off, and he's like, "All right, well, how about this?" And he headbutts him in the face and punches him off of him.
And
Beerus calls a cheap shot.
He's like, "Oh, good, you landed a cheap shot." And he looks up, and you can tell he's pissed. He's ready to go.
Oh yeah, because he even tells Goku, he's like, "I just want you to know one thing. Even with all this newfound power of yours, it doesn't do a thing to me." And he's angry. He almost wants to be hurt. And he's so disappointed that even after Goku became a god, he still isn't laying a scratch on him. He's threw a bunch of punches, and he's taken a bunch of punches, but they haven't done any damage at all.
He wants a challenge. I mean, could you imagine, like, if your pretty much sole purpose was fighting and that's all you did is fight and destroy? If you never once had a challenge, it's like One Punch Man, like that one episode we watched. How bored is that guy constantly? That's the best description I can give you of Beerus at this point.
Pretty much. Beerus is One Punch Man.
Yeah.
And after he tells Goku that it didn't affect him at all, Goku is pretty much in shock.
He's like, "What?"
And the next thing we see from the viewpoint of Bulma's ship is Goku, like, I don't know what happened between that moment and where we are now, but it couldn't have been good because Goku's now in the air and he is KO'd.
Pretty much.
And Beerus just flies up and starts knocking him into the air until they're orbiting the Earth. Right. Literally orbiting the Earth.
Like, does being a god make him able to breathe in outer space?
I've always wondered that.
I never got it, ever since the movie.
I'm assuming...
But, like, but even in the movie, he wasn't even a god at that point. He was just... The god power was the...
Kind of roll with me here.
All right, sure.
I'm assuming the reason he can breathe up where they are is that they're not completely out of the atmosphere yet, and there's still some oxygen there. That is the only reason. I don't think it has anything to do with the transformation. Mm-hmm. I think they're just close enough to the Earth still, which doesn't make any sense because it's dark up there.
In space.
In space. I'm assuming that there's just some oxygen up there that he can breathe.
Sure.
I could.
Let's go with it.
I could be wrong.
Nah, I mean, that's the best answer we're going to get, so let's just roll with that.
Pretty much. So yeah, they're in space now, and Beerus is super bored once again. He's like, saying, God, are you done taking your nap? I'd really like to get on with this. Mm-hmm. And he charges up. I didn't even know what you would call it. It almost looks like
like an atom.
Yeah, I was looking for the word. It looks like an atom. And it's apparently one that can blow up the Earth, because it's, even though it's super small...
It doesn't have to be big. You've seen Frieza's one that blew up Namek, you know what I mean? It's kind of like the same type of situation, probably.
Yeah. But Beerus is charging one of those up. He does it pretty quickly, and he tells Goku, like, look, if it's going to take this to draw out your power, I'm going to have to. And Goku realizes that he's not going to throw it at him, he's going to throw it at the Earth. And Goku gets pretty mad at this. He even kind of yells at Beerus, are billions of lives just disposable toys for you to play with?
Yes, to a god. They are.
It's like, absolutely. In terms of... How did he... I'm trying to remember how he said it. What's more important?
Some backwater planet or battle of gods.
And he even says after that, it isn't even a question. Unreal.
It really isn't. To him, I mean, that's what he does. Like, that's his job. That's what he's supposed to do. So now destroying a planet doesn't mean anything to him.
Mm-hmm. And Beerus throws this little blast at the Earth, and Goku, who's kind of gotten... Well, not kind of. He's back. Mm-hmm. Teleports in front of it and just throws a pretty...
It looks like a Kamehameha ki blast.
Yeah, I was going to say it looks like a ki blast, but it's not one. But anyway, like you said, it does a trick. Mm-hmm. It blows up this little sphere. It's not a sphere of destruction. That's this big blast. But whatever this little thing is, it takes care of it.
That was pretty easy.
Yeah, it's like, all I had to do was blow it away. And Beerus is like, well, all right, let's see how you do with this speed. And charges 30 of them, 30 or 40, and throws them all at once. And Goku charges another God Kamehameha, which is epic.
Oh man, we got two this week. For those of you that watch the Japanese, we got two pretty epic Kamehamehas this week.
And he throws that Kamehameha and takes care of all of those blasts in one fell swoop. And Beerus is shocked. Mm-hmm. But not shocked enough because that tapped Goku out. He's worn out. And the next thing we see is Beerus getting... I'm not going to say angry. He's serious. And he makes it very clear that Goku's no match for him because he's helpless. Mm-hmm. After that Kamehameha, he's drained and he is helpless. And Beerus flies right up to him and shoves his hand into Goku's chest.
He's deadly. It's like extremely dark at this point in time. It's like, is this guy seriously going to kill Goku?
Even Jason Douglas's voice acting in this, it was so... I know we've kind of talked over the last couple weeks, or probably about a month now, about how Beerus doesn't really feel like a villain.
Right. This made him seem like a villain for sure.
So sinister.
Mm-hmm. And like we got kind of how Beerus was at the first few episodes of the series when they were building up, making him have the backstory of a villain. Yeah. And this kind of came full circle after having the lighter food episodes. Mm-hmm.
He shoves his hand right into his chest. Which, I mean, we don't see, but then it kind of pans down and you see his wrist and no hand. You can only assume where it is. And he just very, like we said, it was really sinister how he said it to Goku. He's basically saying, it's not you. You're not my rival. This was all just a waste of time. And...
yeah, he's done. He's like dead serious. Mm-hmm. this is over.
Pulls his hand out.
Goku's like, ooh, done.
And Goku just floats back into the earth, past the ship where obviously everybody's worried about him, and then down into the ocean.
Yep.
And from there, Goku's just... It almost looks like he's just dead.
Yeah, and then we just get like his mind going. He's like, wow, he is so strong. He's
beyond strong.
He says that like 8 or 9 times in his head.
Mm-hmm.
And
he's like, I don't get it though. We're used to Goku saying this, but he's just like, I'm so excited. I'm more excited than I've ever been in my entire life. And I don't know if it was just the Super Saiyan God transformation doing this or him willing himself back, but he gets his groove back.
Himself pretty much.
Yeah,
and
which
real weird.
I believe in the movie Super Saiyan God does have a healing ability.
I mean,
so
yeah,
that his wound is healed and he flies straight back up into the sky to challenge Beerus again, and it's just epic. Even Vegeta smiles right before Goku comes out of the water.
Because like, we know what happens at this point. If you've been watching Dragon Ball or Dragon Ball Z for however long, you know this is where Goku really comes out of his shell and starts showing his true power.
And that monologue was awesome.
Yeah,
the way he acted that, it was a Goku voice actually that I've never heard. The whisper and just the calmness of that voice. I saw a lot of people on Reddit talking about that too. It was just a very, very
serene.
And Sean Schemmel on Twitter even tweeted before the episode went live, like if this is the episode I think it is, it's some of my proudest work yet, and that was
interesting.
Very much deserved because he did a fantastic job this episode.
That gives me hope for the upcoming arcs, honestly, because there are some things that he's gonna have to hit, and I've been real shaky about how he's gonna play those parts going forward. So
but, I mean, his performance so far is it's made me so much more confident.
Exactly, and that's all I was looking for because I don't want it ruined because of poor voice acting.
Right. And yeah, so that's the end of the episode. Is Goku flying back up and asking Beerus for another round.
Yeah.
And Beerus is like, you know what? I like the look in your eyes, so why not? We'll go again. And instead of giving you a tiny taste of my power, you're going to get a full course of it. And that's where we leave off.
So we'll have to wait another week to get to the actual
round
fight.
3.
Exactly.
And
so
I'm correct this time. Now we have 3 more episodes left.
Thank God. We're getting close. Yeah.
12:30. Yeah, we
We're
have
good.
3 more episodes.
You got
left.
it. I can't wait for this arc to be over. There's been some pretty decent ups on it, but I'm ready.
Yeah, I mean, as of next week, we'll be 3 months into this arc.
That's so long. That's such a long arc, and it's not even the longest one.
No, not even close.
It's actually on the shorter side. It just feels long.
It feels really long. What'd you think of the episode?
I thought it was good. I mean, I really don't have any complaints. There was nothing that really stood out as being bad.
Right.
Yeah, I thought it was a really solid episode. Like I said, I can't complain too much. How about you? Anything stand out? What's your high?
Voice acting would be the high. Jason Douglas and Sean Schemmel as Beerus and Goku are just carrying this arc so far. If they weren't doing the jobs that they were doing, I don't know if I would be covering this as positively as I have been. I know that last couple weeks we've been pretty negative on it, but I mean, our 5s would be 1s and our 10s would be 5s if they weren't carrying this the way they have been. So my high for this episode is definitely the voice acting.
Yeah. Oh, congratulations on 18 years, Sean Schemmel.
Yeah. He's been voicing Goku for 18 freaking years. How crazy is that?
That's a full-grown high school graduate, just so you know.
So all of you juniors in high school out there, shut up.
Yes.
You know nothing. Anyway, I don't really have a low.
No, nothing?
No, I don't really have a low.
Okay, that's
We
fair.
didn't have peel-off.
Yeah.
So I'm happy.
That's a high in itself, right?
Yeah. How about you? What was your high-low?
My high, I guess, I'd have to say the voice acting was extremely good as well. Not to piggyback on that, but it was one of the better parts of the episode, so you can't just not mention it. Also, the animation was pretty good. I can't complain about the animation at all. There were some like
a couple some weird iffy parts,
but the overall product was better than what we've had the past couple weeks.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I don't like that they haven't gotten to this like the biggest part of the fight yet, and so like my low would just continue to be the pacing. I want it to move along faster, but I don't have any real complaints about the episode, so I mean, it's not as bad as the past couple of weeks.
Right. I mean, yeah, if you think about it, we probably could have crammed this entire arc into 10 episodes.
Yeah.
But we could have been 4 episodes one episode into the next arc by now, and 4 episodes into it by the time this arc ends.
Which, for the next arc, it's another rehashing of a movie we've already seen, so the faster that's done, the faster we get to the new content that everybody needs to see, because it's extremely good. That's when the series kind of takes off, is when you get to the 3rd arc.
Right. Yeah, if I had to rate the episode, I would give it a 7 out of... No, you know what? No, I'm not going to give it a 7. We need to live in a world without 7s when it comes to ratings, because 7 is just a cop-out.
Is it? Okay,
yes.
Sure.
Because think about it, if you rate something 7, you're right in the middle. You either give it a 6 or an 8. There's a much bigger jump there. So if I had to give it a number, I'd give it an 8. I don't think it deserves a 6.
I'd be the 6 end of the spectrum.
Yeah.
I'd give it like a 6.5. I mean, it was fine. Like, there were some really good parts. It's just the pacing takes me out of the story now.
Yeah, you're right. So, an average of 7.
Yeah. We'll just cop out.
Yeah, so that's it for the English dubbed episode. If you guys have any feedback on the episode in general or anything you want to say about the show, let us know. Facebook.com/Universe7pod, Twitter.com/Universe7pod, or shoot us an email. You can do that on just send it to the email in the show notes.
Please give us some feedback. I'm begging you guys. I want to have some sort of content to talk about besides just me and Nick. I want to have you guys part of the conversation, so please reach out.
Yeah, and on that note, once again, we're going to bring up our sponsor, Taylor Street Pizza, home of the delicious $5 slice and drink combo. Visit your local Taylor Street Pizza or go to taylorstreetpizza.com/Universe7pod to get a 404 page not found error.
Yeah. If you also want to have a slice and you don't live near one, send us your P.O. box and I'll buy you one and I'll send it over to you. And it probably won't be good by the time it gets there, but you could give it a shot.
And you know what? I work in shipping, so he can buy the slice and I will overnight it to you, and it'll still be bad by the time you get it.
But that's the best we can do.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I mean, I could get it there within the same day, but it would just cost you hundreds and hundreds of dollars to do it.
Is it worth it? Yes.
So yeah, buy Taylor Street Pizza. Mention Universe 7's podcast when you get there. And go to taylorstreetpizza.com/Universe7pod. And without any further ado, on to the spoiler section, not sponsored by Taylor Street Pizza. And we're back. This week's episode is titled Never Forgive Son Goku. Toppo, the Warrior of Justice, intrudes. And before we get into the episode recap, I did say that I would talk about this in the spoiler section. So before we get into the recap proper, my prediction for the next DLC pack, I am assuming we are getting Zamasu.
Oh, nice.
And
merge Zamasu?
No.
I
think we're getting Zamasu and Goku Black with Super Saiyan Rose.
About time. That's the only reason I want to play Xenoverse 2, because Black is by far my favorite character in the show.
Yeah, because we were promised 4 DLC packs.
Cool.
One of them was Kaba and Frost. The second one was Champa and Vados. Third one I think is going to be Zamasu and Black with an updated moveset. The fourth and final one will be merged Zamasu and Super Saiyan Blue Vegito.
That'd be so cool.
Yeah. There have been some leaks about Bojack, which...
I hate what? No, nobody gives a shit about Bojack.
Which I thought that was weird, but... that was in a data dump.
He's a space pirate. Nobody cares about space pirates.
Yeah, so taking Bojack out of it, we're getting, in my opinion, we're going to be getting in the next 2 months Zamasu and Black, and then Vegito and Merge to Zamasu will be the final DLC, which I can't wait for. But yeah, that was that. I just didn't want to say that in the regular part of the podcast, the non-spoilery part of the podcast, because like I said, that's a little more experience ruining than
it gives them away. Because if we say Goku Black, like they're gonna be like,
whoa,
why is there a black Goku?
Yeah,
is what they're gonna say. But so, yeah, we're back to in my opinion, the good part of the podcast. For those of you that listen beyond the first part, I mean, this is
the meat and potatoes of the show.
So thanks for sticking with us.
The only reason we say that, we obviously put every bit of effort into the first part of the podcast, but it's not as fun because we can't.
It's just constricting and binding because we
can't make predictions.
Yeah, we know what's happening.
Yeah. So let's just go ahead and get into the recap here. Son Goku
Yeah, oh man, it was a good episode. We get more Goku action, so Nick's creaming the second I come over to watch the episode.
Yeah, he did. As soon as he walked in my house, I was like, "Did you watch it yet? Did you watch it yet?"
And I hadn't yet, so I can only assume it's either extremely Goku heavy or an actually good episode.
So, and how did I describe it? I said it's a Goku and Zeno love fest.
So it's Nick's,
not between the two, but
it's
the episode.
Nick's dream come true.
Yeah. So we pick up right where we left off last week. Goku and Toppo are getting ready to fight, and Toppo goes into his full-on.
Oh god, this guy's irritating beyond
Justice Ginyu Force impression.
I hate it. It's so over the top.
So
and like the Ginyu Force is over the top, but at least the Ginyu Force was like the first time we saw it.
Right.
This is so overplayed. Like we went through it with the Ginyu Force, we went through it with Gohan. I don't want to go through it again.
It felt like fan service.
I don't want to do it.
Yeah. Speaking of Gohan, he loved it.
Yeah, of course.
Even after Beerus and...
Oh man, speaking of Gohan again, man, he's really getting into the fighting. The Saiyan cell, he's like, man, Saiyan blood really must run through my body because I'm getting excited for this fight. And we don't hear Gohan ever get excited about fighting ever.
You know, I was going to bring this up later, but now that you said that, it's a good time too. He's looking much more masculine.
Yeah, as the episodes go on, even though it's the same day, technically, he's looking more and more masculine.
I'm understanding why they do it, because now that we know that the not Universe Survival Tournament, the Tournament of Power is only 40 hours away. They had to bulk him up before the tournament. You can't just have
Yeah, otherwise you're going to write yourself into a corner, because you got to do it progressively.
Right, which is kind of a bummer, because based on the opening, I was hoping that we get to see Gohan and Piccolo training and him unlocking that ultimate form again.
I think we will still.
We might, but I was hoping we'd have...
Well, what I'm thinking, possibly, the Room of Spirit and Time is still a thing.
Yeah.
So, there's 40 hours, but if they really did want to get some real training in, they still could.
Yeah. How many people can go in there at once?
I don't know. The parameters are different ever since it was,
because... At the end of
Z... the first time, you could only go in there for, a day. Otherwise...
Well, at the end of Z, you could only bring 3 people in there. Unless they got rid of the limit, and 3 is just the most that they brought in, because it was Piccolo... I think there's no limit, because it was Piccolo...
After it got destroyed with Boo and stuff, yeah.
Piccolo, Goten, Trunks, and Boo were all in there at
because
the same time.
the parameters can be changed, the same with,
Yeah.
They've said it throughout the series. There's been a few different times where it's changed in there, so I don't see... if the writers want to do whatever they want to, they could have, 10 people in there at one time.
Yeah. So who knows what'll happen, but I'm hoping that we get that.
Yeah, that's what I was why put it in the actual...
That's my favorite part of the opening.
Gohan comes back. It's it's my favorite. Yeah. But if we don't actually get to see it, I'll be super disappointed.
I'm not a huge Gohan fan, and I even the hair on my arm stands up when I see that part.
But even if you're not a big Gohan fan, the Gohan and Piccolo relationship's always cool. So it's always just a good part of the series to see them have even more character development.
We got on a tangent there just because of the Great Saiyan Man.
Hey, I'm a Gohan fan for life.
Yes,
baby.
you are. So yeah, we're about to get into the fight, and Toppo will not shut up about justice, and he does not want Goku to talk at all. He doesn't even call him by his name. He just calls him evil.
Yeah, that's his name. He refers to his name as evil.
And you know what? You know what bothers me? Gowasu is there.
Yeah.
and he knows that Goku is not evil.
He doesn't even back him up.
Right. I mean, I'm assuming that this is due to the writing, but I mean, come on, man.
He just pretty much saved your ass.
He not only pretty much, he did. When Black and Zamasu...
2 separate times. Saved his life 2 times.
Yeah, when Black and Zamasu, in the future, tried to blast him, he took the blow.
And he convinced Whis and Beerus to go to his planet and rewind time. That's 2 separate times he saved his life.
Goasu.
What the hell, man?
Exactly.
You're supposed to have your boys back.
And you didn't. You just stood there like a scrub.
No wonder Zamasu turned against you, you old...
So anyway, Toppo is just going on and on about justice. He's basically Universe 11's Batman.
Yeah.
And they just decide to go ahead and get the fight going because Toppo won't shut up about Goku being evil. Goku's kind of embracing the heel role in WWE.
Yeah, pretty much.
He's like, you know what? For somebody who keeps telling me to shut up, you sure talk a lot, which is like...
And Goku had some...
not angry, but angsty. Not angsty either.
He's just being a smartass.
Rebellious Goku is my favorite Goku.
Yeah, for sure.
At least in Super. So yeah, they get right to the fight, and it does not go well for Goku in the beginning.
Nah, he powers right up to Super Saiyan, and like, we already know that's not going to be enough, considering all the hype that we've had around this Toppo character. He's been mysterious. They're not going to make him... Well, I guess they could have.
You know what?
Monaka.
You know what? Actually, I'll if I remember this, I'll save it till the end because I read something online that I thought was really interesting, but I don't want to keep throwing off the recap because I keep interjecting with random stuff.
Sure.
Toppo is just having his way with Goku. He jumps on top of him and like does a twister move.
He's extremely nimble, and Whis comments on that too.
Yeah, for his physique, he's quite nimble. He does like this twister move where he brings Goku into the air, spins him around a bunch of times, and throws him to the ground. And after that, Goku is like, all right, my turn, and charges at Toppo. Toppo jumps over him, grabs him by the arm, and dislocates his shoulder.
We've never seen a dislocation in Dragon Ball. It was super cool. And
I mean, we've seen arm
breaks, but like we haven't seen any like actual kind of like MMA style type fighting. Which,
I mean, he does it all in an instant. And Whis even comments, either Whis or Beerus, I can't remember which one, but he's really skilled at joint locks. And Gohan notices this too. And Goku's just held there in that arm bar until he like does a backflip and kicks Toppo in the face to get away. And
you get this pretty brutal scene of him popping his shoulder back in a socket.
Yeah, because it was just hanging. And then he grabs it, pops it back in a socket, and he's like, ooh, that was something. And they keep going at it. Goku charges Toppo. There's a flurry of punches at him, and Toppo dodges each one of them until Goku kicks him in the hand and smartly pulls his leg away because Toppo tried to grab it again to get another joint lock. And Toppo's like, nope. And Goku's like, nope, that's not going to happen anymore. So Toppo's like, all right, well then try this. Justice Flasher or something like that.
Justice Flash, for sure.
Justice Flash, and just starts shooting a bunch of beams at Goku, and Goku's flying away to evade him, and eventually just charges up a kind of like the Kamehameha ball that we saw in episode 11, and throws it at the big blast that Toppo shoots after the flurry of small blasts, and that they kind of cancel each other out.
Right.
And after the dust settles, Goku's looking for Toppo, and he can't find him.
Then comes right behind him. Goku realizes it a second too late, and he gets the Justice rear naked choke locked in, is what they said.
Toppo would be like such a good WWE character.
That's pretty much what they're making him.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, that's exactly what he is. And he's
squeezing him to death.
It's not even a rear naked choke. He's just bear hugging him and crushing his bones.
Bones. Mr. Satan 2017. Copyright. All rights reserved. Bones.
Yeah.
Toppo's just squeezing the life out of Goku, and he squeezes the Super Saiyan out of him, and his eyes are even like...
You hear his bones crunching. It's reminiscent of Gohan being squeezed by Cell.
Or BoJack.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that terrible movie.
Toppo's just squeezing the crap out of him, and the Universe 11 folk, Barud and Margarita, are commenting that, like, and the Kai, whose name is Kai.
Is his name?
Yeah, it's Khaai.
Sure.
Kai are commenting that it's done. Like, he's gonna squeeze him to death. He's gonna break all of his bones. And even
the only person that thought he was gonna get out of it is Gohan.
Mm-hmm.
Gohan's
he's smiling.
He's like, "This is my dad. I know exactly what's gonna happen next."
And right when everything seems bleak, Goku's eyes are even starting to go full white. He just gets the serious look and unleashes Super Saiyan Blue and
so
breaks
good.
out of the hold. And this kind of annoyed me because we just saw Toppo react to Super Saiyan Blue last week.
So, like, why wouldn't he know this was gonna happen again?
Right, because he even comments like, "Oh, you were hiding your full power." Of course you were, you idiots.
You saw it.
You saw it less than a week. You saw it 2 weeks ago, one episode ago, in Showtime 45 minutes ago.
Yes.
And
you forgot.
well, yeah.
I mean, if he's next to be God of Destruction, I guess that's in the cards for you to just be super forgetful. So
right.
You gotta pass, I guess.
So Goku turns Super Saiyan Blue, and Toppo's like, whatever. And he starts throwing punches at him.
Goku, he beats the hell out of him.
It's reminiscent of when he went Kaioken against Hit.
Yeah. And
he's just like, it's useless. The level I'm at now is far beyond your time
span. That was probably my favorite line in the series, honestly.
And yeah, he's just dodging everything Toppo throws at him, and he just starts beating the crap out of him. Goku just beats the crap out of Toppo, and the Zenos are loving it.
Oh, yeah. Wow. It's so good.
Wow is the campaign slogan for Zeno 2020.
Yeah, I'd vote for him. Would you? Which one's president, which one's vice president?
The president is the
future one.
No, the president is the one that holds up his right arm, and the vice president is the one who is indecisive and holds up his left arm and then changes to his right arm.
He wants to be like the other one, man. They want to be twins.
So he's going to be the vice president because he can't make a decision for himself.
I love that they say. I love that he says the same thing twice after the first one says it.
Yeah, there are even a couple times earlier in the episode where they're talking about justice, and one Zeno goes,
Justice.
Or what? Nani. Goku just beat the crap out of him. And we get this really cool new soundtrack for the fight. And it kind of matches up with the new intro theme. I mean, not in progression or anything like that, but just the feel of it.
Yeah.
And I'm really digging it. How these fights have been going.
Just a series underlying behind it.
Yeah. And they're going to town, just beating the crap out of each other. The stage, well, I say beating the crap out of each other, it's
Goku beating the hell out of Toppo.
Yeah. And the stage is just getting wrecked till eventually Goku and Toppo are in a crater, and Toppo teleports up to try and get the jump on Goku.
Tries to get the high ground, if you will. Open up another box of worms.
And you know what? Toppo underestimated Goku's power.
Because Goku starts stomping on his face after teleporting directly on top of him.
So yeah, Toppo teleported above Goku and tried to kick him down. But right before when he threw the kick, Goku teleported above him and kicked him in the face twice, and then gets this killer-looking double kick right to the face.
And he's done. He's not done, but he gets blasted right back into that crater, and he's
when
pretty damaged.
When Toppo gets back up, Goku is he powers up and starts charging a Kamehameha. And
man, we were so pumped on the Kamehameha a week ago.
This one's even better.
This one is even better. They keep killing it. Oh my gosh.
So Goku's charging his Kamehameha. He gets to Kamehame. And Toppo,
Justice Flash!
Yeah, Toppo, being smart, actually tries to attack him instead of just waiting there going, what? He shoots his Justice Flash at Goku. And then we get the return of the Warp Kamehameha.
And it's better than the first one.
Yeah, Goku teleports down to the floor.
But he's not directly in front of him. He's a good
15, 20 feet.
He jumps at him until he's
point blank, like
right
Cell.
next to him, and lets this thing go. And you think he obliterates him? Like, how wouldn't he?
Even Beerus, after
he overstepped his bounds. He killed that guy.
Yeah, he said he killed him, and Whis like he took it too seriously. And for a second, it looks like he did, because Goku even looked super serious after he got done launching that blast. And it turns out Toppo was able I'm not going to say he blocked it,
mm-hmm.
but he was able to tank it. He just took it, and it did some damage to his uniform, which
he took it super well, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, not really that much damage to him besides his uniform.
Right. So, yeah, he tanked it. It, like you said, it damaged his uniform.
That's it.
And he's pretty angry about that because it's apparently. I mean, I would only assume that that's what Gohan would do if the Great Saiyaman uniform got damaged, but it ticked him off.
Yeah, he's like damaging this uniform as well as damaging my pride,
and he starts powering up, and Goku's like, you know what? Go ahead. And
you'll see me when I go beyond my limits.
Mm-hmm. And before he does that, he goes into Kaioken. And
all right, so I gotta ask: Kaioken is his full-fledged technique that he can use at will now? It's gotta be.
I think so. Yeah.
Which is bad news for Vegeta.
Yeah, very bad news. It was so cool because Goku was just standing there while Toppo was powering up, and all of a sudden this red aura was popping up around him, and I had watched the episode before Mason was able to, and I just kind of looked over, and you were looking at it like, what is happening?
Yeah.
And he just activated, the first time we've ever seen this, he activated Kaioken without saying it.
Mm-hmm.
He just powered up into it.
No, that's not true. He used to do it in brief flashes against Frieza. You couldn't really, it was unseeable until they like showed the replay, but he would use little bursts of Kaioken without saying it.
That's probably true, yeah. Oh, speaking, I'm gonna save it.
Sure.
So you're right. It was just cool the way
for sure
he did that. I've never seen that before, where you just get that slight red.
Yeah, it was really. I mean, don't get me wrong. It was extremely, extremely cool.
Yeah, and like you said, he makes that comment about going past his limit, and that makes the Zeno-sama so excited.
I want to see him go past his limit.
Yeah, and right when it looks like this fight is about to go off the rails, and they're about to go nuts on each other, the Daishinkan
stop. Yep, that's enough.
Stops the fight. And the Zeno-sama were very sad by that. And his reasoning was if it keeps going like this, one of them is going to end up dead. And that's going to ruin the Tournament of Power. Do you really want... It's like he's talking to his kids. He's like, if we do this, the Tournament of Power is going to be ruined. And now, do you really want that? Like, no.
And they're like, okay, we'll stop and we'll save
that's enough for today. And in classic Dragon Ball fashion... Goku's like, hey, Toppo, good fight. And for the second fighter in the row now, Toppo refused to shake his hand. It's like, I'm not going to shake hands with evil.
He
didn't say evil. He said, with my enemy.
Yeah.
And that's the end of the bout. Grand Priest Daishinkan says, it's going to be a little bit before we can start the actual Tournament of Power. I have to make the stage, which apparently is going to take 5 ticks, which in Earth time is 40 hours, which... shocks Goku and the rest of them. It's like, oh crap, we really got to get going here.
Beerus is not happy.
Not at all.
Especially because Goku's acting like there's not a damn thing wrong. And, but that's Goku. If he's not enjoying himself, he's not going to have a good fight, you know? But Beerus is trying to be like, hey, don't be happy ever again, pretty much.
Yeah, I don't want to hear you say I'm excited one more time.
Mm-hmm.
And they all teleport back to the... World of the Kais, and Beerus and Goku just keep going at it.
Man, Goku's got some real hubris going on. Like, he's so disrespectful to Beerus. If this tournament wasn't going on, Beerus would kill him.
You know what? It makes me think he has an ace up his sleeve.
I think he thinks he can beat Beerus.
I think so.
And that's pretty shocking.
Unless he has an ace up his sleeve. That's the only excuse I can give for him. That we haven't seen.
Well, I mean, there's always an ace up his sleeve. I think this new form, like we talked about before, you think there's going to be a new form, which I'm starting to get on board with, especially because we do see Goku time and again have an ace up his sleeve when he's not worried because he has some sort of other transformation.
Yeah.
It happened with Kaioken. It happened with Super Saiyan 3. It happened with Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken. It happened with all that kind of stuff, so... It just seems to play to Dragon Ball suit. Why not?
Yeah. We get back to the World of the Kais. They're arguing. Whis tells them just knock it off, essentially.
Just being their dad, yeah.
Yeah. And Beerus is like, well, it's easy for you to say if we lose, you go on.
Mm-hmm.
And Whis is like, well, I am on their side and I was dispatched to be your guide. And Beerus is like, oh, yeah, that's really convenient. One day you're my angel. Well, not mine.
My attendant.
You're an angel, and the next day you're a guide. How very convenient for you, which makes him laugh.
Mm-hmm.
And he tells him, like, the Daishinkan's your father, right? It's like, yes. Give him a bribe to exclude us from the tournament. And Whis he got offended by that.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, don't say such stupid things. Honestly, you're such a stubborn god.
Yeah,
And
Whis wasn't having any of that.
no, he was not. So from there, we kind of just wrap up the episode with the old Kai saying, like, we're going to rely on Goku and his friends. They're going to do it. And Goku's like, yeah, we are. And next episode, it looks like, I don't know if they're going to call her Bulla or Bra, but Vegeta and Bulma's daughter will be born.
Bra, for sure, in Japanese.
Yeah. We'll see what happens next week.
They keep saying Vegeta's not going to fight, but we all know he is.
Yeah, we all know he is. Otherwise, he wouldn't be in the promo
That's
art.
what I'm saying. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. What are your thoughts on the episode? Obviously, you loved it.
Oh, I loved it. The return of the Warp Kamehameha was something I didn't know I needed in my life, but now I can't live without it.
Yeah, I agree. I thought that was by far the best part of the episode, and probably the best, one of the best parts of the series so far.
Yeah, we're getting these. I'm glad that we're getting these signature moments of Dragon Ball Super, like we did with Z and Dragon Ball.
Yeah, because for a long while it just kind of seemed like, okay, like we'll have a couple fights here and there, and it was mostly, it seemed like character development and fan service, not anything new.
Right.
And that's not good. Like, it's fine for fan service, but like you got to keep it fresh somehow as well. And this is kind of a way. This is kind of a way of doing both. You know, it wasn't scene for scene what it was with Cell, but it was reminiscent and new at the same time.
Yeah, absolutely. I would give this episode an 8 out of 10.
Yeah, I'm right up there too.
Yeah.
I'd probably even give it a 9. I might be higher than you. It was a good episode.
Yeah. And it looks like, given that the tournament is now 40 hours away, it looks like we're going to be getting right into it. Mm-hmm. So that'll be good. One of the two things that I can remember that I wanted to bring up. I don't think Toppo is being scouted as the next God of Destruction.
No.
From what I read, I could be wrong. So take everything I'm about to say from here with a grain of salt.
Sure.
From what I read, it was going to be Jiren.
His friend or his
was going to be the one behind that cloak.
And they just
once
switched it.
People figured it out who it was, they switched it to Toppo.
Gotcha.
And the reason I say that is because some people had taken the screenshots of the cloaked figure, and he was much not smaller, but he was less bulky.
That's what I'm saying. Like the parameters didn't make sense after he took the cloak off for sure.
Yep.
So okay, that makes sense.
Well, even in the cloak in the episodes you could tell it was Toppo, but in the promos and stuff like that, before we got to that spot, it was much smaller, and it was very obvious that.
And you can see like a gray face, not like a human style face.
So it looks like Toppo is not going to, in my mind, they're not going to be scouted for the next God of Destruction. And that's why the Kai said he's here as my bodyguard.
Okay, that makes sense. No, I agree with that. I didn't know that was the case. I didn't know that people had figured it out. Okay, interesting.
That I'm trying to remember what I was going to say last time too.
On Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah. Before I stopped myself again, but I can't remember for the life of me. So.
Yeah, I mean, you'll figure it out and put it in post-production, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm going to record by myself in a corner and just slip it in and then take your words out of context to make you respond to it.
That's fine. I don't choose my words very deliberately anyway.
Is Daddy ever coming back?
No.
So yeah, that is it for the Japanese recap. I'm really glad that we got an episode this week. Yeah, Last week kind of felt empty without having a new one to do.
I know, it felt bare. It sucks not having a Japanese episode to recap. It really does, because this is the part that we like doing the most.
Yeah. Hopefully we don't get another break like that for a long time. And the plan is to, like last week we ended up recording really, really late. So we kind of recorded and just got it up as soon as we could. The next time we get a break like this, we'll have some sort of
filler to throw in as well, so you guys get treated to a full episode, not actually gypped.
Yeah. Gypped isn't a half an hour episode. It's funny.
Seriously. But Oh man, can you imagine if there was like a 3-week period? I'd kill myself.
That'd be rough.
Yeah.
I can't remember the last time we got anything like that. I know we got a break right before New Year's for something.
Like at the very beginning, we got like a 2-week break.
Yeah. Hopefully we won't get anything like that for a long time. So yeah, really positive on this week's Japanese episode.
Really, honestly, like it was a solid English episode and a really solid Japanese episode, so I can't complain one bit about this week. So
yeah, very good week in Dragon Ball Land. You got anything else?
No, think we got it all out of the way.
All right. If you guys have any feedback, feel free to send it to us on social media. Our accounts, we're on Facebook and Twitter. You can email us too. Facebook is facebook.com/Universe7pod. Twitter, we are at Universe7pod. Emails universe7pod@gmail.com. Feel free to subscribe to the show on whatever podcast app you're listening to. Give us a review on iTunes. It would be nice to see that we're getting some engagement out there. And yeah, we'll be back next week to recap and review episodes 12 and 83 of Dragon Ball Super. I'm Nick.
And I'm Mason.
Thank you so much for listening. Have a great week, and until next time.
Adios.